Okay, now we're gonna partner up again and do kind of what we did at the beginning where, you know, one of us had our eyes closed and didn't know what was going on. Kind of do those things again, but with the hand under hand approach. And so we'll do that for a couple minutes. So, Katie, I will partner with you since you don't have a partner.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and, so here we are, and say I want. Okay.
And then I say,
Let's say I want to.
I'm trying to watch and then I'm gonna do.
Okay, this is my non-dominant hand, so come over here. Wait, I was just on the wrong side. Okay, so going to do the hand under hand, and then get her attention, get her permission to start doing the activity. So like Tiva said, like we're gonna brush your hair. So going ahead and brushing hair, and like oh you got something on your face, kind of like after maybe they have a meal and they hi Kaden. After they have a meal and you kind of are cleaning off their face, or they have some crumbs on their pants, and this kind of just helps them. Instead of just me fanning off her pants, it would help her with that. So if you want to try that.
And then under.
But do you ever show them on yourself first, like she kind of did, like when you went like this?
Like we're gonna brush your teeth.
Yes. Yes,
So let's
you
get your
can.
toothbrush.
But the thing with the hand under hand is it'll feel a lot more rhythmic to them, even if you don't show them. Like if you would just start brushing their hair because their arm is up there and they kind of
get the idea.
right, and they'll just like Tiva said with that butterfly hand, they'll just follow you whatever you do.
So you could still be the one brushing her hair, but her hand is, so she doesn't know you're the one holding the brush.
Right.
Her hand is moving and her hair is being brushed.
Exactly. And so, and it gives her a little more dignity too, like she's doing these things herself. She can still do these things herself.
You feel like I know what's going on now.
Like lipstick.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good job.
Yeah.
Like some people may be better at putting makeup on than others with that.
I could totally
So,
do that.
we kind of already talked about this, but what feels different with that versus when we were just doing to you?
Completely different.
Yeah, it wasn't overwhelming and
Exactly.
scary as much.
It was calm.
You never knew when things were coming. You could see it.
And, it's easy to kind of connect the two with how it would be different with someone living with dementia, doing the first thing, doing to people versus doing with people. You could really see the difference of how maybe the second option, the person living with dementia is going to react a little nicer. Maybe they've just been fighting you to take a bath this whole time because they had no clue what was going on and not because they didn't want to take a bath. And, doing this kind of helps them understand a little more of what's going on. Okay, now, did you guys switch places and did the person switch places so the one who was the caregiver first is now the person living with dementia? And kind of try that with those things in mind that, whenever we're doing this with a person living with dementia and kind of, get in a real life situation of if you're going to be brushing hair, brushing teeth, whatever activity of daily living. And Katie, I'll be yours.
So weird.
Hi.
I know.
It's more personal.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like you're just sitting there and somebody's like doing things to you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good,
I don't know.
do you try to, you mimic to brush? Do you have to,
Yeah.
I mean, you can. It'll depend on each individual
Yes.
person as they understand.
Right?
You may also show them the toothbrush.
It is,
They
yeah.
may recognize that as, having those actual objects. Oh, that's his hand. Get back in
It's hard to
there.
not.
Can't do all those
It's hard to
Get
not
up in
like
there.
when you have
Keep
their
your
hand. It's
hand.
hard to not just do it with this hand.
Right,
Remember to keep
that's
your
what I keep trying to hold her
Like
hand.
to get in that habit of
I
doing
know,
My other
I
hand.
know, that's what I was doing, like the mommy.
Like, I've got you, but let me do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of things come back to rhythm. So whenever you do that hand under hand when you're feeding somebody, if you would do that a couple times and kind of help them through, then the rhythm will come back. I don't know if you caught that Tiva said the rhythmic things, the songs, the things that are, natural to them are the last to go. So if they continue to, they may continue after you let go of their hand to know what's going on.
To know Heidi.
Caden's back there playing in toys. It's not a professional.
All right. So you're starting to get a sense of this.
Keep them all upstairs.
That kind of assistance has a term, and the term I've given that kind of assistance is hand under hand. It denotes the position of my hand. My hand is under yours. My hand is there to support yours. You're the boss. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I'm here to assist. I'm not here to take over and try to do things to you. I want to do things with you. Because I know if I can get your brain to understand what I'm doing, you're going to cooperate. You can give me feedback even when you can't speak anymore. You can give me feedback that doesn't result in me getting hit. We can figure out ways to share information because I'm paying attention to what you're able to do. So I'm going to show you where this data gets processed in your brain. It's huge. Do this. The entire top surface of your brain is devoted to sensory motor, sensation and movement, and they are, do this, hardwired together. What you feel drives what you do. What you do drives what you feel. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there is wiring between what you see and what you do. And there is wiring in a normal brain between auditory processing and sensory motor processing. So if I were to say for two of you all, stand up, we're going to go downstairs, your brain would take in that auditory data, translate that into an action statement, and get your body organized to stand up, and you would even know where we were heading. By late stage dementia, that's exactly what people with dementia hear when we try to give them auditory data. They lose the content, but they keep the rhythm, and they can't figure out what we're trying to get them to do. And it's not because they're not trying, and it's not because we're not trying. It's because we're using the wrong system for what they have left.
Okay, so take a couple minutes or 1 minute and kind of think to yourself, if you were ever the person who was trying to communicate somebody in later stage dementia and you felt like you weren't getting anywhere and they weren't communicating with you, and what this information that you just learned may change. You may have thought like, oh, they're having a bad day, they're ignoring me, when, so kind of think about that in your own scenario when that may have happened. Okay, so, even trying to connect the two of what you just learned versus how you're going to use it in the future, it makes a lot more sense. I got a lot of information whenever she was kind of talking without the consonants, and to that is how someone with later stages of dementia hears you. To me, that opened up a lot, opened my mind a lot to how much visual you need to do.
It kind of reminds you too that you don't scream at them when they aren't
Right.
understanding you, saying, "We're gonna go to the kitchen."
You're absolutely right.
The hearing, it's the processing.
Yes, and a lot of times Tifa says just talk slower. You don't have to talk any louder. I've been in situations before where they looked at me and said, "Honey, I can hear." Okay, but if you didn't know that, you would think like, "Oh, they obviously didn't hear me. I need to talk a little louder." When really you either need to talk slower or use more visual cues to get them to understand what you're doing.
Do you use visual cards?
You can, but their ability, maybe pictures more so. We're doing, on our memory care unit, instead of a menu, we're doing pictures of what's for lunch to where they can kind of communicate. Words they're not really going to understand, but pictures, absolutely.
So the other two, what you smell and what you taste. Those are your 5 senses. Those are the ways you get data into your brain. So what are they? What you see, what you hear, what you feel and do, what you smell, and what you taste. These 3 are your skill manipulators. These 2 are strong and primitive. But people with dementia are just in the opposite way, like children when it comes to sensory data. Children develop which of these first? Curiosity or safety awareness? Which do they get first? Curiosity. Who's in charge of safety awareness? Someone else, not them. They could care less about safety awareness. They're curious about everything. They want to investigate everything. They're curious. They want to check it out. They have absolutely no safety awareness. Fortunately for everybody, they're pretty well padded. They have pretty quick reflexes. They don't have necks. Their heads sit right on top of their shoulders. They have a long torso. They've really got lots of padding everywhere for both insulation and padding. And their bones are not fragile. They're pretty dense.
Mommy.
They bounce. When you get dementia, your brain fries in the opposite way it was developed. It dies, it fries. It's not working in the opposite way. So what are they going to keep? Curiosity. What are they going to lose? Safety awareness. Here's a heads up. You're not my mother. I resent it when you try to be my mother because I've lived a rich, full life. I am not 3 years old. I am not 18 months old. You don't treat me like that. And yet my skill set requires that you figure out how to create an environment that's safe for me. But it still has to have this, or I won't stay there. But if it's too much, I get overwhelmed. If it's not safe, uh-oh. And I don't have what they have. I don't have padding. My bones are fragile. My fat pads have all gone to my trunk. I don't have it in my extremities. And I'm losing skills, and I lose them in the opposite way I develop them. That's the reality. So real quickly, we're going to go back to our scenario. Because what I want you to realize, human beings, when they decide to go do something, what happened is I was sitting here and I got a call to my appetite. I'm thirsty. Core. Well, now the core of my brain is in the center part of my brain. Do this. This is the limbic system. This is that